Welcome to another video. Today we're watching why Gen Z culture is basically medieval China by Medieval Mindset. I mean, I don't really need to say more, right? I am Gen Z and the social media have told me a lot that I'm also Chinese. I'm not actually Chinese, but you know the reels that say it, right? You've seen it. Yeah, anyway. Let's get into it.
The other day I was thinking about it and I realized, you know who these dang Gen Zers remind me of? The song Dynasty from medieval China. Anyone else been feeling this way lately? No? It's just me? Well, let me explain what I mean. There's all this new data to suggest that younger people these days want to spend their money on experiences, not physical items. I think it reflects this growing hunger for third spaces, and if you don't know what third spaces are, let me just quickly break it down for you. Basically, your two main spaces are home and work, and historically the third space was somewhere in the middle. Maybe it...
What if I only have one space? What if
was the bar, or the guild hall, or the tea house. These have all but gone extinct recently or have become prohibitively expensive, and young people are feeling it. They want the third spaces back. This maybe feels like a very 21st century vibes-based phenomenon, but it's actually extremely Chinese. The Song Dynasty was the first era in history to have what we would consider as a lifestyle culture, where the cities were actually designed for pleasure and snacking and nighttime entertainment, just like so many downtown areas are today. There was
I love that.
This 12th century writer named Ming who wrote this fascinating memoir called The Record of a Dream of Splendor at the Eastern Capital. It's one of these shocking works from the Middle Ages that I love reading because it seems like it was written by someone recently instead of someone 1,000 years ago. He writes this whole nostalgic reminiscence of the Song capital city, Kaifeng, and talks.
Gen Z would rather pay anime women on the internet than save for retirement. Hi. It's okay. We're all in this together, guys.
Talks all about the 24-hour tea houses and the professional performers and storytellers and the specific vibes of the different districts. There's this one section where he talks about restaurant culture. I'll just quote the full thing here and you tell me if this sounds familiar. When the guests arrive, a single person holding chopsticks and a menu questions all of the seated guests. The men of the capital are extravagant and they demand 100 different things. Some hot, some cold, some warm, some regular, some extremely cold, and things like noodles laced with lean and fatty meat. Everyone...
That's Chad. That's Twitch Chad.
Orders something different. The waiter takes the orders and draws near a counter where he stands in line and recites the orders off from the start. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's Chad, and they're looking for different VTubers, and there's a VTuber for everyone.
This to me literally sounds like a night out in 2026. I'm positive this isn't what you would picture in your head when you hear the word medieval. Also, just to give you a historical timeline here, this is basically China on the eve of the eventual Mongol invasion, and it's a time and a place where consumerism is starting to flourish, and it's becoming a core identity for younger people. Bringing it back to Gen Z, I've noticed that there's this big obsession with what I would call curated living. I don't know, maybe I'm not describing it accurately, but it is super vibes based, like life is one big Pinterest board. Think of terms like cozy games or the aesthetics of going on a walk around the city.
Yes! You guys, don't be mean to people older than you. Don't be mean in chat, okay? To people older than you. Oh my god, it might be midwinter, but I'll always choose an iced matcha. I can't stop associating matcha with the performative males now. I love matcha, but I don't know, man. I mean...
with an iced matcha.
I mean, she's a woman, but you know what I mean, right? It just seems like running behind a trend. What the fuck even is matcha? Matcha is green tea. Matcha. I really like matcha, but I don't know.
cozy games or the aesthetics of going on a walk around the city with an iced matcha. It's this sort of return to the Song Dynasty scholar, gentleman, urban ideal. Your status isn't just about money, although that'll obviously always be important. It's about your taste.
I'm a performative snail. I am a snail.
Back then, it was about your taste in tea and incense and interior design. Now it's more so about your taste in underground music and niche TikTokers. The youth don't want to be told what's cool anymore by commercials and MTV with big corporations calling the shots. They want to create their own experiences. They want to get medieval Chinese again. Also, semi-relatedly, there's been a big surge in traditional Chinese.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They want up being a Chinese baddie.
These medicine trends among Westerners on TikTok recently, you see it everywhere. A number of
I keep getting the reels that say, you're Chinese, send this to another person to also make them Chinese. That's what I get. Did they have Instagram in ancient China too? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Chinese American influencers have been sort of introducing these ancient concepts like Qigong practice or drinking hot water instead of cold water, and the internet has been going crazy for it. So maybe medieval China is making a comeback in more ways than one. We won't just focus on the Song Dynasty here. There's more to China in the Middle Ages than just that one period, but I do have a few more song boxes I want to check before we continue. Before we do that, just a quick plug. If you like my content, which of course you do, you should definitely join my Patreon, link in the description. You'll get access to the official Medieval Mindset podcast with weekly episodes, the Medieval Mindset book club, voting rights on topics and titles and thumbnails, the essential medieval history reading list, special videos that don't get posted on my main channel. So sign up now, and if you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and do that as well. Back to the video. Maybe you've heard of the modern phenomenon of Looksmaxxing, or maybe—
Oh my god. Snail maxing, guys! It's time to snail max. It's time to snail max.
Who aren't chronically online and have no idea what I'm talking about. Basically, Looksmaxxing is the new version of the age-old concept of getting hot, although it goes way beyond diet and exercise and a little Botox.
How does he do those things? Mewing, yes. Guys, did you know I have been mewing since I was like a very young child, because I used to have like some speech impediments, okay? I don't remember. I think I used to have like a really bad lisp and stuff. And so I went to like I don't remember, what is it called? Logopedist? Logopedist? Is that the word in English for it? And she basically taught me how to mew. So I've been mewing since I'm 3 or 4 years old. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know how much you guys are mewing, but I probably have more cumulative mewing in my life. Yeah, logopedician, exactly. Or is it pediatrician? I don't know. It's like she taught me how to speak properly, basically, and made those did those like what is it called? Did those exercises with me, and then taught me how to not lisp, not to have a lisp. Yeah, gigamib. Yeah. But what is he doing?
No idea what I'm talking about. Basically,
How does he do that?
Looksmaxxing is the new version of—
What?
Aren't chronically online and have no idea what I'm talking about. Basically, Looksmaxxing—
How do you do this? How do you move your muscle there? What?
Looksmaxxing is the new version of the age-old concept of getting hot, although it goes way beyond diet and exercise and a little Botox. Young people, I would say especially young men, are exploring all of these scientific
that didn't look very good in the context of, okay, anyway.
To try and improve their looks. The most medieval seeming Looksmaxxing method is called bone smashing, and it's been promoted over and over again by probably the most famous Looksmaxxer, a 19-year-old streamer hammer named clavicular. Looksmaxxing, bone smashing, clavicular. I understand this all might sound ridiculous to you, but stick with me because it's interesting. Also, don't you want to understand the youth? Anyway, the way
Chat says for legal reasons don't do this. Okay. I won't, I guess.
clavicular describes it, bone smashing is when you
Whoa! Baller headshot. Baller headshot. Thank you for the prime sub. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
take a tiny hammer and tap hard along your cheekbones and your jawbone. It causes a temporary swelling that lasts for a few hours and makes those bones look more defined.
Okay.
So it's something you might do just before a night out so you can look more masculine to any ladies you meet. Maybe at this point.
Okay. I don't, guys, it's okay if you, okay, listen, guys, please. Literally smash it, but guys, don't hurt yourselves, okay? Don't hurt yourselves for a lady, okay? If she doesn't take you the way you are, she isn't worth it, okay? God, when do they start drinking mercury? For real, what the heck?
This isn't a crazy revelation, but it turns out young guys in medieval China had the same insecurities that modern men do, and they even went about similar methods of soothing their anxieties. During the Song Dynasty period, there was this really interesting tension between the Wen class, who were the more literary, refined scholars, and the Wu class, who were the more martial and physical warrior caste. Depending on which group you belong to, you'd basically looksmax to make sure your outward appearance matched what you represented. So that meant young men who were part of the scholarly class went to these extreme lengths to achieve this sort of refined, pale physical aesthetic with slender features to essentially highlight the fact that they never had to work with their hands. They'd even use specific diets and cosmetic aspects.
What is that?
Never had to work with their hands. They'd even use specific.
Huh? Okay, wait, that looks like some sort of fruit. Oh, I guess that's like some pears, right? And then, are those dates? Grapes? Maybe something I don't know? At first I thought it was just a bunch of stones. Yeah, a bunch of rocks. Soybeans or olives, dates? I'd assume it's something sweet since you use pears, but I don't know. Beans? Could be beans? Red beans? That look like dates but not dried. Yeah, I've never seen not dried dates, but I would assume they look somewhat like this. And then,
Specific diets and cosmetic aspects of traditional Chinese medicine to maintain this look that would instantly signal to everyone that they were part of the intelligentsia. Those in the military class, basically who we would consider to be the modern day Chads, focus primarily on bone strength. I don't know, maybe that sounds familiar to you.
Oh my god, wait, what?
Chads focus primarily on bone strength. I don't know, maybe.
Dude, Broster is straight up bruised. I don't know, dude. I really don't know about this trend. Oh my god.
Maybe that sounds familiar to you. It wasn't just about muscle, although of course they made sure they were in great shape. It was about the chi energy within and physical density. You wanted to look like a brick wall. That was kind of the physique they were shooting for. It's important to note, of course, that they
brick wall physique. That's so funny. Yes, Apothecary Diaries.
weren't hitting themselves in the face with hammers like modern looksmaxers. Their routine usually included things like hitting sandbags or poles to increase their bone density. There was a 20th century French scholar named Jacques Journet who specialized in Chinese history, and he talked a lot about how these aspects of appearance became kind of a coded language of your class. In the incredibly hierarchical society of medieval China, if you didn't have the specific look, you were culturally invisible. It seems like a lot of young men, and young women too, feel this way today. If you just look up the term looksmaxxing on YouTube or TikTok, the insecurity is overwhelming.
That's so sad. Looks is not, I mean, I don't need to tell that. I don't need to say that, I think, but you guys, if anyone watching this feels insecure about your looks, you're probably a lot more beautiful than you think you are. And I'm very serious about this because most of the time people are insecure about their looks and they see stuff they're insecure about a lot more than other people, if that makes sense. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Then also, like, probably, why did you emphasize probably? I mean, there's always, I mean, you know, some people already think they're very beautiful, okay? Also, you have to always think about it. Whenever you make a photo of yourself, the camera also warps your face, especially if it's a selfie. And also, yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, someone is always gonna find you beautiful. And also, fuck Instagram trends, guys. Or TikTok trends. Yeah, and character is obviously more important anyway. Why do I look like a mirror? No. Not like that. Anyway, Chad, am I beautiful? You're beautiful. Everyone watching this is beautiful because you're watching this. Everyone watching my stream or my videos is beautiful, and I say that because your character is beautiful. I don't know what you guys look like, but I know you're beautiful.
But it's understandable. We were all vulnerable teenagers once too. But you see these guys giving each other ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 and recommending which specific steroids or looksmaxxing techniques to try so they can bring their flagging features up to speed. This includes
Well said, good. I always write. I sometimes I feel like I'm mad with words. Do I become ugly if I stop watching? Yes, that's why you always need to watch. Wait, let's
Maxing techniques to try so they can bring their flagging features up to speed. This includes peptides, which as far as I understand are these amino acid based performance enhancers, and the use of GLP-1s like Ozempic, which I feel like people associate with an older audience, but there seem to be a shocking amount of young people taking them. The medieval Chinese were actually big on this kind of thing too. They were obsessed with elixirs made from rare minerals and herbs that were designed to lighten the body and extend life. A lot of these were incredibly dangerous and even included mercury, and I'm sure in the next 10 years or so there will be a bunch of studies showing the horrific side effects of looksmaxxing and peptides. The idea behind this medieval Chinese looksmaxxing was essentially the same as the idea behind the modern version, using some kind of external chemistry or method to hack your biological limits and achieve this sort of superior physical state. The Chinese wrote a lot of things down, and thankfully a lot of them have survived over the centuries. Like the 7th century physician Sun Simao's essential formulas worth 1,000 gold
there's some mercury eating. Oh my god, you mentioned it earlier. Oh my god.
pieces. It was basically this manual for longevity and physical refinement, and if you're familiar with the European concept of balancing the 4 humors, this was along the same lines.
Wait, naked woman.
Simao describes the body as this chemical system that can be balanced or enhanced with specific substances. This idea went even further with the medieval Chinese concept of naidan, or internal alchemy, which taught that the body was composed of 3 main ingredients, qi, jing, and shen, that could be forged into a golden cinder if you were locked in enough on your physical discipline. Locked in is a good term to use here because this sounds just like the trend of locking in that is
It does sound like it. Logged in.
popular with Gen Z for at least 5 years now. If you're not familiar, it just means cutting off outside distractions and focusing intently on some kind of personal goal. So maybe getting your side hustle off the ground or working out more regularly or whatever. It's become sort of a cult online, especially among the gym community, and based on what you see from these fitness influencers, it's like your pump and your physique are proof of an internal moral victory, like a victory of the will over the laziness of your base body. A medieval Neidan practitioner literally thought the same exact way. They knew that their physical health and their outward radiance was proof that they had successfully cultivated their soul in a way that others couldn't or hadn't. Young people seem way more into fitness now than they did even 10 years ago. I'm not sure if that's a COVID thing, but I love to see it. There seems to be a lot of conversation around the idea that your body is
I mean, being into fitness is not a bad thing. Being into fitness is not a bad thing, but being overly obsessed with how your body looks like is a pretty bad thing. Yeah. Oh no.
The one status symbol you can't really buy. You can buy a Bugatti or a nice watch or whatever, but you can only achieve a truly amazing physique through countless hours in the gym, so it's really the most impressive thing you can have. There's also this quote from the video game Disco Elysium where a bouncer says to the main character, "Your body betrays your degeneracy," and that always sticks in my head when I don't want to go to the gym. I just felt like including that. I like tossing random tidbits into
Yeah, body dysmorphia bad. Being driven is good, being obsessed is bad. Yes, exactly. Also, like stuff like fitness or losing weight, it very much depends on the individual, right? Like your body has certain limits. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
These videos. Now, most of what I've been talking about so far has come from the Song Dynasty, which lasted for a few centuries right smack dab in the middle of what we would consider the Middle Ages. But the Middle Ages lasted almost 1,000 years, so what about the rest of medieval China? You know what? I'm really glad you asked that. First of all, the Middle Ages happened differently in China than they did in Europe. Basically, even though there are quite a few Song Dynasty parallels, Gen Z is actually in more of a late Ming phase. That's right, I said it. In the earlier
Okay, I see.
Tang Dynasty, which lasted from 618 to 907 AD, your identity was defined by your clan or your rank in the military, basically how people's identities have been defined for most of human history. You were a cog in the great chain of being, and the same thing was true in medieval Europe. You existed within a feudal system put in place by the divine mover. By the late Ming period, which went all the way into the 17th century,
yeah, it's hot take.
there was this rise in individualism that started to run so deep that it turned into the same kind of identity crises and obsession with labels that we see among Gen Z today. You see, Chinese society had reached a level of complexity to such a point that people started to define themselves by their personal quirks and not their family or job. So
guys, I'm so quirky and silly, and I mean, I'm I don't know what I was about to say, fuck. But I definitely see that. I guess it's for someone who doesn't really know what kind of job I want to do and stuff, I guess that it makes a lot of sense. Right? I'm not a League of Legends player, okay? I'm a Balatro player.
instead of saying, "I am a soldier," a late Ming youngin might say, "I'm a connoisseur of rare incense who suffers from melancholy."
I'm a connoisseur of anime girls on the internet.
Similar way, you'd be hard-pressed.
Not like other snails. I'm not like the others. God damn it. Mip so Ming code. Thank you. Is it a thank you? I don't know. Thank you for that.
A young person today who primarily identifies by their profession or their nationality. Find me a 22-year-old who introduces themselves as Garrett the American plumber, and I would genuinely be shocked.
I'm Mipyun the German VTuber. Wait, but that's what I say. That's what I say though. I mean, I don't say it to anyone I meet on the street, but that's what I say to you guys.
I'm sure Garrett will now show up in my comments to prove me wrong because that's how YouTube works. Instead,
I'm sorry,
just like the
it's me. It's literally me.
youth, young people now might identify as a neurodivergent creative with a hyperfixation on looksmaxxing. It's this obsession with self, and it can be dangerous because you stop viewing yourself as part of a wider community and start squeezing yourself into these ever smaller and more specific boxes. The late Ming...
What do you mean? You think German snail VTuber is not specific? Are you saying German snail VTuber is not a very specific box? Oh, okay, I guess I get it. I guess I get it now.
period was a kind of renaissance that ultimately failed. It was this explosion of individual expression and art and looksmaxxing and everything else, but it was cut short by the Manchu conquest in 1644. I honestly think...
Could be more specific. German VTuber who streams on Twitch at 5 p.m. GMT, 4 to 5 days a week.
Going to see something similar with Gen Z in the coming years. They're in this period of extreme self-expression and pursuit of individual destiny right before a massive systemic reset comes. Maybe that's AI, maybe it's something else, only time will tell. Anyway, we just briefly stepped outside of the Middle Ages, so let's bring things back a few centuries for our next comparison. I want to go back to those Song Dynasty third spaces we talked about earlier. One of them was the vods, or the pleasure precinct, which sounds pretty good already. Basically, during the Song Dynasty, the government moved away from these strictly managed residential wards and allowed for the growth of pleasure precincts, or vods. If you've ever seen The Wire, this was kind of like the medieval Chinese equivalent of the Amsterdam experiment. The vods
I haven't, but okay.
were these chaotic 24-hour zones where all the basic social rules were temporarily suspended, kind of like the medieval equivalent of the unregulated internet. Now, if you let a
I thought it was gonna be like what was it called? There's this one movie, The Purge. I thought he was gonna say it's like The Purge, but I guess it's just social rules. It's not like the law gets, is gone. Okay.
bunch of young men loose in an area with no rules, the first thing they'll be interested in is prostitution, but in the modern day, you already check that box with online adult content and gooning. After those urges are
I can't believe we got gooning in this video.
satisfied, literally the very next thing they want is to gamble. It's a tale as old as time, and it
Yes,
was a big
gamble!
problem in the Song Dynasty pleasure districts, and it's an even bigger problem now on private gambling Discord
Oh my
servers,
God.
and even huge publicly accessible apps like
Wait, you're telling me there are gambling Discord servers? I didn't know that was a thing. But I don't know, I feel like online gambling, okay, I haven't really gambled a lot in my life, okay? But I don't know, I feel like online gambling isn't the same as the physical gambling. I said it, guys. A lot, so only a little bit? No. No, I don't think have I ever gambled? Have I ever personally? I mean, if you count gacha, yes. But I don't think I've ever done I don't think I've ever done like a proper slot machine. I don't think so. I have entered a casino before, but I haven't paid like any money, so I'm clean. I'm clean. I think I would get very easily addicted. That's why I stay away from it. So yeah, not surprised they exist. It's not surprising, but I just didn't know there are gambling discords. I felt like, I don't know, how does that even work? But I don't know. I think it's worse because it's more accessible. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's also, I don't know. I guess, I don't know why, but I feel like it's easier to scam you online. I mean, you guys know the saying, the house always wins, right? The house always wins. But I feel like, I don't know. Is it just me? I would trust an IRL casino more than an online one. But also, don't gamble, chat. Don't gamble, kids. Gambling bad. Gambling is bad. Okay, that's obvious. Obviously. Online gambling way easier to rig. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like as well.
private gambling Discord servers, and even huge publicly accessible apps like DraftKings and BetDSI. I see so many young people now who are almost turning online gambling into a sort of career path. And guess what? They did the same thing back in the day too. You see all kinds of criticisms from these Song Dynasty officials like Sima Guang, who laments that young men are abandoning the plow and the book to chase the flip of the die. There's also this modern sociologist named Beverly Yuen Thompson woman who writes great stuff about subcultures. And she's noted that fringe groups usually start to form when the mainstream promise of hard work equals success is broken. In the song Dynasty,
I get it though. That's like a thing, and like, yeah. Nowadays, people can bet on whether certain events will happen or not. I guess, there's also, what is it? I don't know if it was, I don't know if like the stock market or crypto was a thing back then. But I get the the feeling. Hard work equals big money is broken. So you're not gonna put in hard work, if that makes sense. You just want to gamble. You just wanted to gamble and get rich that way.
when the mainstream promise of hard work equals success is—
Wait, did I say? Yeah, I mean, there definitely wasn't crypto, but like, I was wondering if there was a stock market in ancient China.
is broken. In the song Dynasty, your ticket to success was passing the imperial exam, but you could study 30 years just to fail an exam that only had a 1% pass rate. That's a bad bet. Young people now are seeing the same thing. Their parents bought houses and supported an entire family on a modest single income, and now they can barely afford their rent. In this kind of paradigm, why wouldn't you open up DraftKings and put everything you own on some ridiculous parlay? Why wouldn't you dump your whole portfolio into some meme coin in the hopes it'll take you to the moon? We might—
Meme. I see, he mentioned it too. Oh my god. Holy shit. Ancient Chinese Bitcoin. Yeah. Oh my god. Get rich quick scams are older than currency. I mean, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Because everyone wants to be rich, right? Everyone wants to be well off.
Think of this younger generation of gambling addicts as just irresponsible kids whose frontal lobes aren't fully developed yet. That's definitely part of it. But they're also making a desperate, calculated attempt to exit a system that has already failed them. Going back to the vods, the pleasure precincts, the reason they never fully took over society is because—
Hey guys, if you watch my stream on Twitch, you can get rich in puros. Wait, actually, isn't that a funny thing to tell YouTube? I think it is. Okay, guys, so for those that are not familiar with Twitch, there's like these silly channel points. I have infinite because I'm the streamer. And if you earn enough, you can redeem a handmade crochet scarf that I'm gonna make for you. Or lifetime VIP. For a bit less. I just thought I would take this moment because I feel like a lot of people don't know. Mip can become VIP. I could. I actually can't. I can't become VIP as a streamer. But I have the money for it. I have the puros for it. I call them puros because get it, Pyun and euros. Get it, guys? But yeah, that is that.
because you had to physically go to them. There was a spirit of anonymity, basically what happens in the vods stays in the vods, but you still had to go engage in these acts in a somewhat public place and deal with the internal shame of that. Now—
Wait, you didn't get it? It's like, you know how my name is Mipyun, and then there's the Pyun, and then my channel points on Twitch are called Puros, and then you know how we have the euro in Europe. Okay, anyway.
Go engage in these acts in a somewhat public place and deal with the internal shame of that. Now, with the internet, young people can indulge in all of their most base desires without ever even getting off the couch, and it can literally cost them their entire future. It's worth noting, too, that when you have a bunch of young, desperate people gathering in one place for a set objective, it
VTubing
can create a sort of ideological powder keg. So in the vods, these guys formed gambling brotherhoods, and the song Penal Code tried constantly to break them up because they feared the brotherhoods were becoming more loyal to each other than to the emperor. Now you might get into a private Discord server, ostensibly to do some gambling and trade some insider tips, and next thing you know, you're radicalized into committing some horrific public act of terror.
Oh
this
no!
feels like a good place to land the plane,
no!
Because the main point I want to make with these videos—
Maybe I should take the VTubing part away, but I mean, you know how it Yes!
is that time is a flat circle, and we're essentially repeating the patterns of the past over and over again. There's the old saying that those who don't study history are doomed to repeat it, but it seems like even when we do study history, we're powerless not to make the same mistakes. The difference now, of course, is that these things are happening on a massive global scale with the full weight of tech companies and government institutions behind them. A soldier in the Song Dynasty might drunkenly head to the Watsi and lose his monthly wages, and that was it. A young 20-something now might obsessively bet his entire savings on an app on his phone and ruin his whole life before it's even started. This is why we need to pay attention to these trends and recognize that even though human behavior hasn't changed, how we respond to it can. But what do you think? Has this video found you at a very medieval Chinese time in your life?
Yes.
Let me know in the comments.
Yes.
As always, I'm John, this has been Medieval Mindset, and remember,
He's John Medieval!
the past isn't gone, it's simply waiting to be rediscovered.
John is such a funny name ever since the John memes, you know? Ever since the John memes became a thing, John is such a silly name. Yeah, John History, John Evil. Okay, that was an awesome video. Very, very fun. Oh my god. I am indeed in a very Chinese time of my life. Or medieval Chinese, I guess, to be specific. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Subscribe to Medieval Mindset and watch his videos for more medieval mindset content. And I'll see you. Come over to Twitch to watch me live and earn channel points. I'll see you on the next one. Bye YouTube. Bye bye.